wonderful family. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Headlines. We are here to serve you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We missed you once again. I'm with one of the most brilliant journalists in the country as always, my co-host, Because. And I'm so glad that you decided to actually put your time aside for you to be with us today. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. Please click, please share, please like, because we value your inputs, especially with regards to your comments. Today is a very important day once again where we really look at 15 years of timelines in which there was a birth of different political parties in this country. And what is it that has actually led to those birth of those political parties that we're actually finding, and the fragmentation thereof with regards to political positioning, ideologies, etc. So within that, Ntombi, today's feature is to dive deep into a 15-year timeline that shows how South Africa's major corruption scandals and political infights have coincided with or directly fueled the birth of new political parties and breakaway movements. And my consultative process is the one that we're going to be ending up with, just to begin our conversation, right?
Yeah.
But let's walk the journey. Let's just walk the journey a little bit. I don't know how old you were in 2009 to 2010, when the Zuma presidency and the early state capture signals. So you remember at the time that Jacob Zuma becomes president, despite facing serious allegations of corruption. And around this time, we saw the formation of COPE in 2008. And it was born from a fallout of the ANC's Polokwane conference and Thabo Mbeki's recall. And whilst not purely corruption-driven, disillusionment within the ANC governance was already visible. And the formation of COPE, my goodness, at the time when it actually started, here we were thinking that, now we are finding another voice that is going to be resolute, it's going to be resolute, and it's going to be a voice that will be able to talk to what the people want and what are they looking for. COPE, once again, from rise to ashes.
I remember when, you asked how old I was. I remember how old I was. But I was already old enough. So when the inception of COPE, it looked like it gave another alternative to a political people. Many people who migrated from ANC to join COPE, they had the hope, or they did it with the aim. Okay, some did it with the aim. They thought this was an alternative. This was what was needed. At that particular time, it looked like hope, but it as time went on, true colors really showed. I mean, when COPE started, people thought they were gonna be loyal people. They thought it was gonna be just an alternative, but somehow it became something else. We saw the infights within COPE over the years. When they started, Umusiwa Lukota was the president, Mbazima Shilowa, the former Gauteng premier, was the deputy, and fast forward, he was kicked out, and we saw who's that guy? Madisha. Madisha became. But as time goes on, like the cracks started showing, and the political instabilities within their own political parties showed, and in no time we saw divisions, breakaways. We say like there was cope, but there was a cope of Musiwa, then there was cope of Madisha, there was a cope of, and it did not serve the purpose. So as time goes on, we then saw that most people went back to the ANC because they felt like what they thought was gonna be an imana, like a promised land. Cope was not a promised land. In fact, it was a curse. That's when most people went back to their political parties. Then we saw other political parties like EFF in 2013 forming and also giving a voice to young people. Then there was Julius Malema as the leader, and his deputy was no one else but Floyd Shibambo. Fast forward 2024, we saw what happened. EFF, it has declined, the support declined a bit, and Floyd crossed the floor, went to MK, and is no longer with MK as we speak.
You know, talking about the formation of the EFF in 2013, remember in 2013 and 2014 there was also the Nkandla scandal and the ANC credibility crisis that found itself in a public forum where the Thuli Madonsela's report revealed that 246 million in public funds were used for upgrades at Zuma's private Nkandla home swimming pool.
You remember what the name was that?
Fire pool. And then there was so much public outrage that grew at the time. And around the same time, Julius Malema was actually expelled from the ANC. So then there was the birth of the EFF in 2013, riding on anti-corruption populism and gaining massive support. The EFF then and the EFF now, I'm really interested in actually being able to find out from you with regards to their posture on how they started and where they are now.
When they started, they were very clear what they wanted. The land issue was one of the top of their agenda. Fast forward 2025, they still pushing this agenda of land. I think they did not lose sight or track of that, although there might have been challenges within the party. But some of their policies that they had back then, most of them they still focusing on them right now. We are yet to see if they ever gonna be in power, if given a chance to govern and lead South Africa, and see if those plans that are in their policies would ever be implemented.
So, the posture of the EFF at that time in Resolute with regards to certain key fundamental issues that meant to sort of redress and address the socio-economic conditions that are actually faced by most citizens resonated with especially the youth, because at that time, you remember, there was so much stagnation in terms of unemployment. There was additional stagnation in terms of progress that is being made by the ANC government in terms of implementing certain solutions that will be able to sort of move us and give us traction. At the time, Julius Malema was the one that that came up and was unapologetic and was not even censored with regards to certain ways in terms of he expressed himself, how he actually came across, gave confidence, gave hope, and gave that. But then it turned out along the line that as much as there is still that it is said that it is still a one-man's show. And the voice of the voiceless somehow got a bit distorted. Simply because then there were these infights that happened with Floyd, Ndlovu, and sort of people that were actually expelled in terms of that.
Yeah.
Do you still think that the youth still does resonate with the EFF in terms of its stance on a number of issues?
Yeah.
I noted that he's also in some way, as much as his stance is correct with regards to pan-Africanism and how we need to be able to embody that, that with the latest issues that are happening with Operation Dudula, he seems to be categorizing the issue of pan-Africanism and open borders and stuff like that and whatever it is, when Operation Dudula is saying no, it cannot be a free-for-all. That his tone seems to be changing a bit. Am I reading it right, or do you think that perhaps he's still standing in terms of where he's standing?
I still feel with his standing where he's standing, because one of the latest posture that EFF is embarking on right now, they said, remember with Operation Dudula since 2022, they've been pushing this thing with not free for all for everyone, especially going to public facilities, clinics and hospitals, preventing foreign nationals from just getting medication and everything. But right now, EFF is seeing that each and every morning, Operation Dudula, they spread themselves. They go to hospitals, to clinics to prevent people. So EFF right now has said they're gonna now go to clinics and also push that everyone gets equal treatment, medication, everyone access medication. So I still feel with this thing of open borders, they're still pushing it, because right now they are willing to even to be against the Operation Dudula, to say they are not agreeing with what Operation Dudula is doing, and they want to push as well, so that their own people, they want to bring their own people in these clinics who will make sure that everyone accesses medical attention, which is another debate. Medication, yes, everyone has a right to medication, but right now try and travel to Nigeria, try and travel to Canada, try and travel to Kenya, travel to any other country and get sick and see if you are going to get free medication. That's what Dudula is saying. But EFF is saying, despite whatever they are fighting for, now we are fighting for all Africans, because Africa is for all of us. That's what they say. They even went as far as saying you can't be perceived as a foreigner while you are an African in Africa.
That's another conversation that we actually need to have another day, Ndombi, because I think we all have contradicting views in terms of where we actually stand with regards to the influx of those that are from other countries to this country, and being able to access, work opportunities and be able to, access public health care as such. It's another debate that we need to have, because, sure, if you look at the intervention that has been done already with regards to the campaign by Operation Dudula, and the outlook of our public health care right now, and versus how it was before. That's another way where we're supposed to be really looking at it. It's like being able to have a house that has been hoarded and a house that has been cleaned. But it's a discussion that we need to have, because there's always two sides of a story. We all see things in different ways. And I don't think that this podcast is a podcast that will be able to take a certain stance.
Yeah.
It's a podcast where it's actually open to everybody, where we could be able to really deliberate on issues and deal with issues as they come and as they are, without really sugarcoating and without favor and fear of anything else.
Yeah.
And so, this brings us to another political party that was formed, ATM, which I thought that at the time in 2015 and 2017, remember the Nenegate story where the Zuma fired the former minister Ndladlanen for the Gupta links and the Cape and the state capture, and behold me, where he was also involved when he actually fired the finance minister. And also remember also there was also the issue of the Eskom's coal contracts to Transnet's locomotive deals and stuff. What is his name, by the way?
Coco.
Yes, and Brian, is it Brian Molefe, right? Brian Molefe as well. Remember those controversies? Those controversies actually led to the birth of ATM. And that gained traction and promising to clean up government. Yeah. And also the Patriotic Alliance as well started finding in its own footing with regards to Gaten Mackenzie now with his stance of being able to not have any filter. Yeah. And be able to actually now talk and find expression and riding against the wave of him being a convict and understanding what people are actually going through and how he's going to be able to sort of do something different, and which is sitting now and doing nothing different. But anyways, that's another issue for another day. So that part, ATM, I really had hope for ATM until I found out that it's part of it's an organization that was formed in a church. Yeah. And then they removed that intelligent man. They removed that guy. So I'm really trying to understand the dynamics on it. Okay, so the guy, they removed him from parliament and replaced him with who?
I forgot his name, but that guy is apparently the founder of ATM.
Okay.
But Uzungola is still the parliamentary leader.
Okay.
And his mandate is still he's still focused, because whatever that is happening or scandals or whatever that, he's still involved, and it takes people to the cleaners if need be. I mean, look at he was also involved in taking Gaten Mackenzie's issue earlier in August. After Gaten was found guilty after 10 years. 10 years ago, he tweeted derogatory racial slurs. So he took with his part. They took Gaten Mackenzie to the parliamentary portfolio committee, sports, arts and culture, to report him. But unfortunately, Parliament has cleared him, Gaten Mackenzie. But Vuyolethu Zobula is still focused, is still attending to matters. Another matter is that of Pala issue. Uzobula spearheaded. Is one of the ATM is one of the parties that has really taken it they made it their point that they are taking this president to Cyril Ramaphosa, they want to hold him accountable, and also to account for those dollars that were hidden in a sofa and mattresses in Limpopo, in his farm.
My view, without really having backlashes, South Africans, my view, I think Vuyo is in a wrong political party.
Which political party do you want him there? Which political party do you want him to?
I don't know. I feel when I'm not. Look. I don't have a problem with organized groups, churches, foundations, as such. I still feel it was as if Ovuyo is the same feeling that I had with my money. At the time when he was in the DA, where I felt as if the man was constricted with him being able to apply his own being. And when he did, it was like he was against a particular system. Although Voyo has got an anatomy in a way and freedom for him to be able to actually express, and of course he has to be consulted with the church elders and the formations and stuff like that. But I still feel that he's just
in the wrong place.
yeah, I feel that he needs to. There's just something about that man.
How about he joins the EFF?
There is just something about that man where he starts latching on. It's like, when he latches on, when he holds on in an issue, he doesn't let go until he sees it to an end. And those are the type of people that we need to lead the political dimension and these whole dialogues, the national dialogues that we are actually having. Where somebody that is going to be able to be steadfast in being able to see accountability to its end. And that is the guy. And that is one guy's way in parliament, you can say, from all of them sleeping, by the way, you can say that this guy, since when he started, he stuck true to his word.
Yeah.
But anyway, just moving on to that particular issue. So in 2018, 2019, post-Zuma transition and public inquiries, Zuma resigns under pressure and the Zondo Commission begins. Story another day. And shocking revelations that implicate the ANC and the SOE executives. The VBS Bank wipes out 1.8 billion in municipal funds. 2019 elections happens. South Africa sees a record number of parties on the ballot. All linked to events and corruption that is actually happening. Good party comes to the party. ATM comes to the party. The capitalist party is the ZACP. Yes. Those all, they are fueled by corruption fatigue that we're experiencing in this country.
Yeah.
But then, within all these formations of these parties, then they take Patricia Delay at the top.
Yeah.
And absorb her into the system. Where is good now?
Good is still there, but like they are reactionary to everything that is happening. If something is happening, you'll see them commenting, issuing out statements. Even with that national dialogue, that talk shop that we recently had, they called upon all the parties. They must be part of the national dialogue. You don't know whether good is coming or going. Patricia Jalil is nowhere to be seen. The person who's out there, the person that we really see as the Secretary General, what's his name? Who had him? Yeah.
And that's the reason why I was saying that, look, I think our analysis in terms of where the whole thing started and the breakaway groups and stuff like that, we are building something where we're actually trying to show that there is political parties that become into existence led by events. And events are centering around corruption.
Yeah.
And infighting within those political parties. And the Pala scandal in 2022.
Yeah.
2023. In fact, even before then, in 2020 and 2021, remember the COVID-19 PPE scandals, where there was an exposure of massive procurement fraud. That was 14 billion in irregular contracts that were flagged. Corruption. Provincial premiers and political connected elites, right? That were implicated. And this outrage sparked a whole lot of things and the rise of Action SA, led by Herman Mashab. And also, that's where we started seeing a surge in local independence, contesting the 2021 municipal elections. So all these particular events emanate, or political parties emanate from a particular event that happens at that time. So are we saying as South Africans that we are events driven? or is the particular objective as South Africans that we need to be able to have to drive a particular political agenda that will be able to really feed into the social economic conditions that we are facing as a country. You move now to the 2024 and 2025, the coalition era and the new scandals. ANC dips into 50%, lower below 50%. And now there was the issue also, remember at the time that the MK party came into the fore. Divisions also in the MK party found an expression. Allegations that it is a family-orientated party. There is nothing that they are going to be able to do and add value on. Now we are sitting in a situation where this year there's an uprise of Operation Dudula that is now positioning itself as a political force. And moving on to that, there's your consultation process. It's tiring. It is tiring, though. But do we need so many political parties, honestly, in this country? What are we doing?
In all honesty, currently, as we sit here right now, there's 609 political parties that are registered with the IEC.
What?
Yeah, 609 political parties that are registered with the IEC in South Africa. 226 of those are registered provincially or in the municipality level, and 383 are registered nationally. And we are seeing, it doesn't look like we're going to stop seeing the mushrooming of political parties. As you alluded earlier, most people start political parties because they are disgruntled with their previous political parties. So instead of going back and fixing whatever challenges or problems that they were feeling or that they were encountering, they just decided, okay, let me just go and open. And in all honesty, if these people were true to themselves, instead of opening a new political party, find a political party that is resonating with you, try and reason with them. But right now, at this point, it looks like, with all the mushrooming, it looks like it's a free-for-all. People just want to make money. They are out there to make money. Because if you look at whenever there's a new political party, it's so easy for people to cross the floor from that particular party to this one. As an example, in my Ibuye consultation, I guess we know after Floyd Jibambo made, I won't say it's a mistake, he moved from, he divorced the EFF. He went and joined Umkhonto weSizwe. But Umkhonto weSizwe did not even last for a year. That was the shortest relationship. If this was a relationship, we would be describing it good. This is one of the shortest relationships. And within time, like with this Maibuye, you could see which there was already cracks in the party, which he was no longer happy, but he decided not to leave the party because he idolized Jacob Zuma. Jacob Zuma also said he did not leave the ANC when he went and started EMK. So he still said, I'm a card-carrying member of ANC, but I'm with EMK. Eventually, ANC, we saw what they suspended him. Like, not suspended him, they got rid of him. Or early, in late July, that's when EMK released a statement, announced what they were doing away with him. They were getting rid of him, and they replaced him. They already mentioned someone else who has replaced Floyd. With him, he said at first he said he was not starting a political party, but he wanted to consult. But there's an appetite, and there's people who are interested. If it starts a new political party, there are people who are crossing the floor. We saw this lady who crossed from Action SA. She was very prominent, and now she is officially joined in in Maibui. Although they are still consulting, but already people who are from other political parties, they've crossed the floors or they are still crossing the floors. Remember, South Africa is going to have the elections in 2026. 2026 is within how many months from now? So I'm afraid we're still going to see a lot more political parties. Because some of them, they even disappear after elections. You look at, where is Kiss Party? Like, who are they representing? Who voted for them? What is their mandate? Where are they? What are they doing? There are political parties that were formed before 2026. Before 2016. Where are they right now? But unfortunately, we're still going to see more and more political parties because this is a democratic state, democratic country. You are allowed to start. As long as you have the funds, you are good to go.
So the 15 years of our analysis, the year cycle, indicates that one of the things that is clear, is that corruption and governance crisis in South Africa have consistently given birth to political formations. But the question that we will always remain with, Ndombi, is, does South Africa really need another political party? Or we just need stronger accountability, and we just need to make sure that the ones that we have already are accountable? Because did you see the last ballot paper in the last election?
Sure.
It for me, it was just something else. And that is the reason why I'm not sure whether as citizens of this country we are driven by events, as emotional as we are, and that there are just certain principles that perhaps maybe as citizens we need to be able to stay on, where we are not deterred by events, but we are stuck by principles. But those are the issues that we are going to, as we go along and look at different issues, it's things that we're going to be looking at, and we're going to be unpacking. But for now, I think in terms of where we are, Ndombi, I wanted perhaps maybe in closing to get your view, besides wearing your journalism hat, as a citizen of this country, and looking at the political dynamics of this country. Just to express your view in terms of what are we seeing? Is there hope, though? Is there hope?
By the look of things, there's no hope. Instead of us going forward, I think we are going backwards. Instead of improving, we are seeing that we are going backwards. You look around, guys. If you travel in Johannesburg, I see the whole of South Africa, but go to Johannesburg right now. Go to the CBD. Remember 2024, in 1994, how it looked like versus 2025. It's bad. The infrastructure, vandalism. Johannesburg used to be the pride and joy of South Africa. When you're going to Johannesburg, you knew what it's good. But right now, what we are seeing, I'm really worried. Honestly speaking, with all these political parties and all these politicians busy talking and having their views or whatever, I'm really worried. We are not improving. Instead, I think we're going backwards. That's my last contribution.
Family, you heard it from the horse's mouth. I share the same sentiments as Ndombi. The well-being of this country is entrusted by us to those that we believe that will be able to serve us better. But the question remains, do we need fragmentation or do we need unity? And I think the analysis of the new political formations in this country tells you exactly where we stand. From a principle point of view and to an issue-based point of view. You know, in Zulu bathi sihamba ngomoya. And I'm not sure whether that will be able to save us in this country. Let's unite, let's build, let's fight for what we deserve. Because here, we are citizens of this country and we deserve better. On that note, myself and my beautiful, brilliant co-host,